This video will just give some tips on keeping stitch length even. So one of the frequently asked questions is, how do I keep my stitch length even? What should stitch length really be? And how can I do that? Once we work with free motion quilting and these feed dogs go down, then the machine no longer controls your speed. It's your hands and your feet that control that speed. And so let's take a look at what that looks like, if it's too fast, if it's too slow, and a couple tips like that. So once I put my foot down, I'm always looking not exactly where the needle is, I'm looking ahead to where I want to do my line. I'm just going to do a little bit of a meander today. So I have pin basted, and this little patch has been spray basted also, and we'll take a look at it. So sometimes when we have high speed but slow hands, we're going to get really teeny stitches, and sometimes when we have low speed but fast hands, we're going to get really large stitches. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So that's working really fast, really slow hands. But what happens if I'm still going fast, but I've got fast hands? So what happens here is you get really teeny stitches that get piled on top of each other, and sometimes, yeah, it even happened here, you get little knots on the back that are not the best things to have. And then when you get really big stitches, even though you're going fast, your hands are also going fast, and so you're going to get too big of stitches and they're going to break. So the ideal thing is to think about keeping your machine at about 75% of its speed. So my machine has a slider or a speed controller, many machines do. I put that at about 75% of max. So 75% is kind of where the three little arrows are. And then I can put my foot right to the floor. And then I don't have to worry about my foot where it is on the pedal. It will just remain on the floor. And then I want to work at getting an even, comfortable movement with my hands. And so I can tell that that is about 75% because it's not that revving sound. And when I look at my stitches, what I'm aiming for is about 10 stitches per inch. So if I take about an inch here, I can count the stitches. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've actually got 10 stitches there. If I take a look at this curve here, that's about an inch in total. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've actually got 10 stitches there. So my average is about 10 stitches per inch. Sometimes mine are a little bit smaller, so they're 9. But that's what we're aiming for, is to get that consistent looking about 10 stitches per inch, so that on the back it's nice and neat also. And so it's about keeping the speed of the machine at about 75%, moving the hands in a nice fluid motion, and finding your rhythm. And by working that way, you find a rhythm. It gets relaxing. I stop every once in a while with my needle down. I might pivot my piece as much as possible. I'm really just looking ahead of where I'm going and not where I've been. And so let me just do a little bit more. I'll come around and do a little bit more meander, and coming around here. And sometimes I'll stop because I really just kind of want to rotate to get a better grip. And continuing on. So again, the stitches are consistent. My machine is about 75% max. My foot is right to the floor and making some beautiful lines. I hope you enjoy making your lines.